We've been members of CSBUG for quite some time now. Our contribution to CSBUG really is around issues of tax and trade, and so the partnership around those areas has been very instrumental in the kind of work that we do. So we've been collaborating on a number of issues. When it comes to campaigns around taxation, we've worked with them to influence policies, to influence practice, governance issues around within that area of revenue mobilization. So it has, I think, helped us also as an institution to grow, to get more results also because it's a network and we're members, and there are also other organizations that are interested in similar issues. So that kind of collaboration has also helped us reach out to very many people.
As the Forum for Women in Democracy, on an annual basis, we do gender audits of policy statements, ministerial policy statements, and we identify quite a number of gender issues that need to be taken into consideration in terms of planning, allocation of resources, and also utilization of resources. We do not have a forum or a platform where we independently speak about these gender financing issues in particular, and that's how the collaboration with CSBUG comes in handy, because CSBUG gives us that platform, gives us that space where we can comfortably talk about these issues in their already established spaces, because for them they are a coalition on public financing, and we bring these issues as one of the components of the issues that they are handling.
Most recent activity that we jointly worked on, the campaign to stop MPs exempting themselves from taxing their allowances, I think has been very good, because that partnership and collaboration, so many people were mobilized, so many people were reached out to, and there was a lot of public outcry, if I should say, on that particular issue. And so to just get that response from the public, from other governance activists and the like, I think was as a result of this collaboration as CSOs on this issue.
I'll give you an example of 2014-2015 financial year. They had introduced a tax on kerosene, and we initiated a campaign to challenge the introduction of that tax on kerosene. And we collected a number of signatures, and of course wanted to hype the voice on citizens' concerns around kerosene, and especially the poor and especially the women are the ones who mainly use kerosene, and how it's more of a survival component. And if they introduce a tax on it, it's going to vulnerabilize women much more. So our collaboration with CSBUG was able to hype and amplify the voices that we had in our own campaign, because the campaign was more from a forward perspective. But the fact that we were working with CSBUG, it amplified it, and in that amplification, it became a key issue within the movers and shakers, and they had to take a decision on removing that particular tax on kerosene.
Originally been working with the Ministry of Finance as CIATINI, and I think once we intensified our work around taxation within the civil society group, I think it also enabled us to strengthen the partnership with CSBUG and others. But most importantly, I think the relationship with the fact that we're able to come together on specific issues related to maybe financing, revenue mobilization. Our collaboration also strengthened on the other side with the Ministry of Finance, because now at least we continuously engage them, they continuously call us on to present our case, our issues, especially when they are beginning to plan for a financial year. And so we've seen that work effectively, because then we get together, bring ideas together, develop papers together, and then present them together. So I think that collaboration sort of even enhances that partnership with the ministry, because then they see you as a united force.
They had introduced a tax on farm inputs in particular, and you know that it's mainly women who are engaged in agriculture, and mainly for sustenance and basically food security at their level. So introduction of a tax would mean that most of the women who are already engaged in agriculture will be vulnerable, will be more vulnerable. They can't buy the farm inputs, the hoes, the pangers, because they are more expensive, and in that way they are finding challenges doing their agriculture. So still it comes back to amplifying that issue through CSBUG platform as a network.
I think maybe the one that has really stands out is this issue with the MPs exempting their allowances, because there you could tell that the Ministry of Finance was actually agreeing with civil society and other actors who are against that particular move.
They have helped us connect with duty bearers, if I may use that word. The duty bearers, mainly those who are the key decision makers, the movers and shakers. And in that way, we've been able to have our issues directly reach the right cohort of people who are supposed to act on them.
I think the partnership should continue. I think it has been very instrumental. I mean, there is strength in numbers. I think that is very important to know.
We get reports from CSBUG on their monitoring efforts, monitoring the execution of the budget. So they help us to get an independent view of what is going on the ground, which then we use to collaborate our own information as government, and then we make informed decisions on what is happening and what's not probably happening on the ground.
They were able to inform us about the reform on wages, and we were able to know when people are not receiving their wages on time after the reform. And they've also been able to give us the information regularly, because the monitoring system in the government does not go to the field as regularly as CSBUG. So they've been very instrumental in terms of giving us timely information on what's happening on the ground.
CSBUG, I think, has become a very critical partner with government, especially on the budget.
I think I would say it's one of the most useful complementary institutions to government in terms of assessing performance of government.